Hey everyone, it's Wingspan TT, and if you're watching, you know what time it is. You may not believe what time it is, but it is time for Duels of the Planeswalkers 2013. That's right, I'm coming from the future. I have future sight. I've reached through the depths, peered through the mists of time to bring you this preview that I have courtesy of Rabid Ferret from Top Tier Tactics, who's currently live at E3, covering this event, talking to Wizards of the Coast, getting us mad I guess opportunities here to see what's going to be going on in the upcoming version of the Magic the Gathering Xbox Live, Steam, PSN, and now iPad version of their game. And a lot of people have been requesting to see what the new decks are. Now, I do want to stress that this is a press copy demo. It is not the full version of the game, so there definitely is going to be more stuff in the game that's here. But I do want to show what is here so you can get an idea of what direction the game is going to be going in. And then you can make your own crazy assumptions, like the game's going to be full of Planeswalkers, or they made Wingspan TT into a card because he's done such a great job of promoting this game. So we're in the deck editor right now, and there's only 4 decks in the deck editor right now, and they only have 5 unlockable cards each. Okay, the first thing you'll notice, other than the graphics being slightly shinier than before, is that we have this kind of rating system for each deck. So decks are now kind of rated how beefy the creatures are. So Timmies will appreciate this. How fast the deck is. Will you be able to Zerg your opponent? Can you kill them in a turn or two? Deck flexibility, I'm not sure exactly what that means. Probably like, you know, like a combo deck, a deck that relies on one mechanic to win probably isn't going to have a lot of flexibility, which will explain why this deck, Celestial Light, has only 1 star, because it's pretty linear. We'll get to that in a second. Card synergy, how much the cards work together within the deck. So again, this is not final. There are going to be more decks, but I do want to just go into the decks right now so we can take a look at what's here. A lot of people have been requesting this. So the first deck, Celestial Light, is a white deck. Okay, we got a Johnny there. And let's go into Deck Manager, where we'll see what is in this deck. So we have the same mana ratio thing as last time, showing you how many creatures, how many other spells, your casting cost, mana curve there. Look at that sexy mana curve. You know, real decks have curves, gentlemen. 25 lands, fine. So let's look at the actual cards. We'll zoom in here, and I'm not gonna say every card's name. You can pause the video yourself and look at the cards and think about them. But what you're gonna notice real fast in this deck is that this is a life gain deck, and almost every card in this deck is meant to gain you life. Now, gaining life in general is pretty dumb in Magic, but they have buffed life gain over the last couple of years, making some more powerful cards like the Serra Ascendant, 1 white for 1/1 with lifelink. And as long as you have 30 or more life, it's a +5/+5 in flying. So if you had 30 or more life, which could be very easy, definitely not on turn 1 though, you'd have a 6/6 flying lifelink creature for 1 mana. Not bad, only if you had 30 or more life. But this is going to be very easy when you're gaining life. For every creature you cast, beginning of your upkeep, you gain 1 life. This probably is not going to be a very good card. I would cut this right away. Whenever you gain life, this guy gets bigger. So there's a lot of synergy. We see why that synergy was there. Definitely cut that Angel's Feather out. That sucks. And you know, many of these life gain cards do serve a purpose, like Divine Favor. Alright, it's going to enter the battlefield, you're going to buff one of your creatures, and you're going to gain life. And honestly, if you're giving a creature +1/+3, you're looking for defense. So that life gain is going to serve you a purpose. I'm not saying this is a great card, but it plays into the deck's theme. Alright, this guy enters the battlefield. On turn 2, you're gaining 4 life. So in theory, you could already, you could be up to, you could easily be at 30 life by like turn 3 or 4 with this deck. A couple of these guys, Moment of Heroism. This pretty much sucks. No, it could work. It could work. And again, it's hard to tell. You gotta play it out a little. White spells cost you 1 less to cast. While that may be cool in general, probably kind of useless in a deck where you have a lot of these really cheap cards like this. So I might want to cut Pearl Medallion. Okay, more life gain, just basic life gain. We all know Loxodon Warhammer is a game-winning card. Gives you lifelink and trample and the +3/+0 and equipment that stays on the field. Slith Ascendant. Whenever it deals confidential player, put a +1/+1 counter. That's alright. This does not fit into the theme at all. So it's certainly not bad. It is flying with the evasion, so you will get some counters on it, but does this fit into the theme? No. So if the theme turns out to work pretty well, maybe cut the Slith Ascendant. Solemn Offering, destroy target artifact or enchantment, you gain 4 life. Great, you get some other permanent removal in here. You get a bunch of cat this, again, this is expensive. Is it worth it? It's probably worth it, you know, for just 6 mana, you get 3/2/2 creatures, and this goes back, and it's an instant. So you can surprise people in the middle of battle. Very cool. Doesn't really play into theme, but you get the idea. Look at this. Destroy target attacking creature. You gain life equals its power. Very powerful in this format, which is mainly about creatures. There's not a lot of combo decks or other stuff like that. Not a lot of control. Alright, this is mana acceleration. Seems kind of pointless in a deck with really cheap cards, but who knows. Overpriced. Maybe, you know, good staller, get an air, and you see that this deck has a lot of flying too, so you get some creatures in the air, slowly establish air dominance. So you kind of stall at the beginning with lifegain, then get your air dominance, and then possibly fly in for the win. But we will see there's more interesting cards in here than this. Alright, whenever another creature with flying enters the battlefield under your control, you may gain life equal to that creature's power. Kind of crappy, 5 for 3/4 flying with a mediocre ability. Okay, this... you'll gain 10 life for it. Possibly, maybe. Best case scenario, you gain 30 life, but it's 5 mana. It's not going to help you early in the game. 6. Chain creature gets +3/+3. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, double its controller's life total. This is amazing. Alright, so your creature gets +3/+3. Let's say you have 30 life, and you manage to hit them once. They just got smacked for an additional 3 damage, and now you're at 60 life. That's just amazing. Celestial Force, 8 mana, 7/7. And you gain 3 life a turn. Not very good. I would definitely not use Celestial Force. You're overpaying for 7/7. You gain 3 life a turn. Whoop-de-doo. You could be gaining 3 life every turn with every other card in your deck. Now let's look at some unlockables. Now there's only 5 in the demo here in the press preview version, but there will be probably more in the real version. But let's just check them out. Look at this. 6, 4, 6. Vigilance Lifelink. I'm already in love with it. But let's read the alternate win condition. This is going to be a game fucking winner. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have 40 or more life, you win the game. You could easily win the game the turn after you play this. You play this turn 6, you probably already have 40 life. So this is definitely going to need to be in the deck. This is something people need to be afraid of. This is, you beat this or you win. If they don't beat this right away, you win. Because this has lifelink too. So they're going to have to stop attacking you so you don't gain life. And they're going to have to not block this. You know, they're going to have to find a way around this. We got Baneslayer Angel, always a beauty. Also with the lifelink, great. Another Celestial Mantle, another Serra Ascendant, and Rock's Faith Mender, 4 for 1/5 lifelink. If you would gain life, gain twice that much instead. Could be decent, 1/5 on a lifelink, but there's plenty of cards worth cutting in this deck. And that's pretty much it. So that is Celestial Light, and I'm going to come back with another video where we're going to look at the next deck. I hope you guys got a good idea of what Celestial Light is about, and we'll come back to look at these other decks very shortly in Duels of the Planeswalker. Duels of the Planeswalkers 2013.